What is RBI?
What is?
What is RBI
Okay.
and the duties of RBI?
Okay.
And I have read about CRR, SLR,
I
and
have read about
I have read
I,
and studied about CRR, SLR, that repo rate, reverse repo rate, bank rate.
okay, good.
Yes, sir.
Now, what is CRR?
Cash reserve ratio, sir. CRRS. It is the bank has to keep some amount as a cash reserve in the with RBI, sir, as a deposit.
Some amount.
It is keep a basic amount uh, which is set by the RBI, sir.
How much is it?
Sorry, sir, I don't know about that, but I have studied it is they have some deposit amount for commercial bank for the required capital is 500 CR, sir, for starting a commercial bank. For
No,
cooperative bank,
no, that is okay. There is next question.
yes, sir.
First finish the CRR question.
Yes, sir.
CRR
Yes.
question, cash reserve ratio. It is banks, scheduled commercial banks have to maintain
Yes, sir. I think it is
4.5%,
yes, sir. It is 4.5.
4.5% of their net demand and time liabilities,
Yes, sir.
NDTL,
Yes, sir.
as balance in their current account with Reserve Bank of India.
Yes, sir.
Reserve Bank will not pay any interest for this amount,
Yes, sir.
but if the bank is failing to maintain it, Reserve Bank will be putting certain penalties.
Yes, sir.
So the present CRR is
4.5.
4.5% of NDTL, net
Yes.
demand and time liabilities. What are
Okay.
demand deposits? Tell me, Kabiram.
Yes,
What
sir.
are demand deposits?
I haven't read about. I haven't studied about that, sir.
Hemant, can you tell me what are demand deposits in banks? Hemant.
Sure, sir. Sure, sir. Sir, it is the transfer of money from one bank to another bank using the demand draft. Actually, in this process, we submit the money and we make this.
Totally irrelevant. There is no relevant with what I asked. What did I ask? I asked what are demand deposits? Demand. Now let
Draft.
me ask. Let me ask Viswa. Viswa, have you come now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Viswa, what is demand deposits in a bank?
Demand deposits. There may be a minimum amount of deposit they had to done, sir. Like the 1 lakh, like that. I think so, sir.
Totally wrong.
Wrong.
Demand deposits means current account and savings account.
Both are combined together, sir. Man.
No. Both are considered as demand deposits. They are called demand deposits because bank has to pay the money on demand by the customer. Whereas in the case of fixed deposit and recurring deposit, they are called time deposits. They are called time deposits because they are repayable after a specific time prescribed or initially told by the customer. So those are known as time deposits, and savings bank current account are known as demand deposits. That is why the definition for CRR is 4.5% of net demand and time liabilities. 4.5%.
Sir, what does
And
that exactly means? Net demand timeline.
that's what I'm telling. Demand
Yes.
deposits means whatever savings bank current account deposits with one bank plus the time deposits, that is fixed deposits and recurring deposit with that bank. These two will be added, and that is known as net demand and time liabilities. On this, 4.5% has to be maintained by the bank in their current account with Reserve Bank of India.
So every commercial bank has
In scheduled commercial banks, in
Yes,
case
sir.
the scheduled commercial banks do not maintain CRR of 4.5%, then they will be charged penalty.
Okay, sir.
Reserve Bank is not going to pay any interest on the balance kept with Reserve Bank of India. Same
Okay.
way, 18% of net demand and time liabilities have to be maintained by scheduled commercial banks in the form of cash or gold or government securities, and that is known as statutory liquidity ratio. In other words, SLR, and it is now 18% of NDTL, and this has to be maintained by banks, and it is to be submitted by, say, they will submit a return known as Section 42. There is a statement known as RBI Section 42 statement to be submitted by banks every Friday to the Reserve Bank. So based on that, the figures will be arrived. How much CRR to be maintained, how much SLR to be maintained, that will be decided. So this is what that one. Now this is, we started this because Kavi Ram told that he studied about CRR. So we discussed about CRR. We also discussed about SLR. Now, what else you studied, Vishwa? Vishwa, what else you studied?
Sir, I studied about repo rate and CASA, like that. So some basic
What is
questions.
repo rate?
Repo rate is a amount which it's a percentage which federal bank gives. Sorry, RBI gives to the federal bank, like interest, like it's a percentage.
Totally wrong.
That loan lending interest percentage, sir, from RBI.
Come on, put it in proper sentence.
Private banks lend a loan from RBI with a certain percent of interest is called as repo rate, sir.
Totally wrong.
Wrong.
Repo rate is the rate at which a Reserve Bank of India lends money to scheduled commercial banks against government securities for short term, normally 14 days to 90 days. The rate at which Reserve Bank of India lends money to scheduled commercial banks for short term is known as repo rate. Present repo rate is 6.5%. This rate is very important because if the inflation is rising above 6%, the policy of Reserve Bank of India is they want to maintain inflation at the rate of, say, 2% to 6%. It is told as 4% plus or minus 2. That is, if it is 2% and above, no problem. If it is less than 6%, no problem. If it is less than 2%, also problem. If it is above 6% also, it is considered as a problem by Reserve Bank of India. if the inflation means rise in the price of goods and services over a length of time. That means for 2 or 3 quarters. If the inflation goes above 6%, Reserve Bank will raise the repo rate by 0.25 basis points BPS. That means from 6.5 to 6.75. Like that, they may revise. Once the Reserve Bank raises the repo rate, the banks will be charged more interest by RBI. So banks will borrow less from RBI. Not only that, if the repo rate rises, the scheduled commercial banks will increase the lending rate, that is, rate of interest on advances also correspondingly. So the borrowers are expected to borrow less from the banks. So the money in circulation will come down. If the money in circulation comes down, that will help reducing the inflation. So this is a tool adopted by Reserve Bank of India to control the inflation. They ask one more question known as what is SDF? SDF is known as standing deposit facility. This is where the inflation is going up and the Reserve Bank wants to suck away or take away money from the circulation. They will offer 6.25% interest to commercial banks who are lodging their surplus funds with the Reserve Bank of India. So what will happen if more money is sucked out from the banking system? It will result in less money in circulation, and it is expected that inflation will come down. Corresponding to this rate is also another rate known as bank rate. At present, the bank rate is 6.75%. What is bank rate? Bank rate is the rate at which Reserve Bank of India lends money to scheduled commercial banks for long term, not necessarily 90 days. The present rate of interest is 6.75. And there is one more rate known as marginal standing facility rate. And that is also now 6.75. Marginal standing facility is an emergency facility for overnight adjustment for scheduled commercial banks, 1 day or maximum 3 days when it is falling on Friday. And it has to be adjusted within 1 day. Here again, Reserve Bank of India gives money against approved government securities. So these are the rates we have discussed. There is one more rate known as a reverse repo rate, which is not having much importance now because the rate is 3.35. That is similar to standing deposit, where Reserve Bank of India, where banks keep their funds with the Reserve Bank of India, supported by government securities, then Reserve Bank will pay only 3.35%. Now banks are not showing interest in this because it is very low. So today we have seen 4 rates: 1, repo rate; 2, SDF; 3, bank rate; 4th, MSF rate. These rates are determined or decided by the Monetary Policy Committee of Reserve Bank of India, for which the Governor Shaktikanta Das is the chairman. It has one more member from RBI Deputy Governor. His name is Mr. M.D. Patro. Other than that, there is one more RBI representative. 3 other representatives are appointed by the government. Totally, there are 6 members in the Monetary Policy Committee. So every 2 months, they will meet and discuss the economic position, or in other words, inflation position, and they will decide about continuing the repo rate as it is, or reducing it, or increasing it. But the present rate has been maintained for last over 1 year. The same rate is there, though the inflation has been varying from 5.3, 5.6, 5. Now 5.38 was there in the month of January. What is the rate at the end of February? We will know about it in about 2 or 3 days. So this is the net important points regarding the liquidity adjustment facility. All these rates are known as liquidity adjustment facility rates, because the liquidity in the market is to be regulated or controlled by Reserve Bank of India. Right now, the situation is the banks are not having surplus funds. They are running short of funds because the demand for loans are more and more lending has to be made. So the question of keeping under SDF and all doesn't arise. What will happen is only banks may borrow from Reserve Bank of India. However, nowadays, majority of the banks are not resorting to this. They in turn go for rights issue. They raise money from the market in the form of, say, shares or debentures or bonds. Recently, State Bank of India did it. Bank of Union Bank also did it. Many other banks are doing like that, though they are charged to pay more. State Bank of India this time borrowed at 7.8%, but still they borrowed so that they can lend money for needy purposes. So this is the present situation of the economy. Bank rate, and every day I am giving you this one, this banking, what is that? Banking front line. In that, at the end of it, you will find these rates. I am not showing it to you. You will find these rates in this one. Every day, I want you to go through this, especially those candidates who are going for interview. If you go through this, you will be able to tell the current affair points. If somebody has read today's paper, then of course, if this point is not interesting for you, you can leave. Next one, 21% fewer fresh corporate subscribers join National Pension System. Then Shahbaz Sharif becomes Pakistan Prime Minister for a second time. Administrator likely to be appointed at Paytm Payments Bank after March 15. That is an important news. Amit Shah launches NUCFDC, sets target to establish one urban cooperative bank in each town. So, Hemant, please read this. Cooperation Minister. Hemant, are you there?
Yes, sir. I'm there, sir. Actually, it's outside, and so there will be some disturbance.
Acha, acha. Viswa, can you read?
Yes, sir.
Please read Cooperation Minister.
Cooperation. Oh, wait, 1 second, sir. Cooperation Minister Amit Shah on Saturday launched the National Urban Cooperative Finance and Development Corporation (NUCFDC) and asked the umbrella boy to set up one urban cooperative bank in each town. He also said urban cooperative banks should upgrade themselves to provide ATM facility, credit cards or debit cards, clearing system, maintaining SLR, statutory liquidity ratio, uh, limiting and refinancing. NUCFDC has received the RBI approval to function as a non-banking finance company and a self-regulatory organization for the urban cooperative banking sector.
So this is a very latest information. Kajal, please note this.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Because today you were not able to tell the news items when I asked you. So if you have
Okay,
got
sir.
ready-made information with you, when you go for interview, you must have in hand readily 5 or 6 news reports. They may ask
Okay.
something other than that. Then you must go with the rates, repo rate, etc., what we have discussed. And you must also go through the foreign exchange rates. You must also go with the information of Bombay Stock Exchange rate, National Stock Exchange rate, then what is the share price of Federal Bank. Up to that, you must be keeping ready in your hand. Okay. When you go for the interview. Very good. Now, Viswa, you read about repo rate. Apart from that, what did you study? I am repeatedly asking because
Sir?
I find majority of the students who are appearing nowadays for interview do not spend time in going through the materials given or watch the videos to take notes. So when they come to the interview, mock interviews, they just blink, and out of embarrassment, in order to please them, I ask easy questions and finish the interview. Because if I am going to ask at the level which they may be asking in federal, majority of us who appeared today, yesterday, day before yesterday and all, your performance appears to be below the expected standards. That is why I am asking, are you reading? Are you reading guidely material? Are you reading Bankers Adda material? And are you going through the questions given? Are you searching for the answers for them? Like that, you should try to improve your standard. And when I ask people to come here for the class, people are not coming. So what is the fun of my conducting the class? For example, yesterday the class was conducted, the video was also posted, and how many people have watched this? In fact, it is thrown open for everybody, not only for people, not only for those people who have paid money. In fact, I am sharing it for others also. But in spite of it, what is the number? Only 70 people have seen here today. What is this? Is this 70? This is 70 because this is Union Ministers list. That is why so many people have seen. Otherwise, people don't see it. And another one, what is that? 52. No. Tamil Nadu, this is 106 Federal Bank class. I think I should segregate the classes separately. So people are not studying unless you read. How can you expect me to make you succeed? See, in the earlier days, it was not a problem for me. Only very few people will come, and those people will prepare because most of them were MBA finance. Nowadays, I find even MBA finance students, they lack the basic information. So that should not happen. And especially boys like Kaviram, Viswa, at least you are okay because you are going for clerical only. They may reduce their expectations from you. They will ask simple questions like, say, how will you talk to customer coming with anger at the counter? Kaviram, how will you handle a customer? The
Yes, sir.
customer comes and shouts at you.
Yes, sir. First of all, I will ask him. I will take time to control his angriness. I will ask him to sit and stay sometime so that we can talk about the issue. I will clearly understand from him what is his issue uh, and try to solve those issues with my responsibility, sir.
Viswa, can you tell me?
As a bank employee, customers are our gems. I will ask the customer to slow down his or her voice, and I will calmly listen to what their concern, and I will give a better solution within a small amount of time, and recheck whether the customer is satisfied and happy.
Kajal, how will you handle a customer coming and shouting at you? Kajal. Kajal is also in library. Kajal. Kajal is in library. Hemant is in library. So they cannot talk. Kajal. Okay, no problem. See, people don't come to the class. If they come also, they don't give respect for the class. Why should I conduct these classes? Tell me. I think I will stop. Tomorrow, day after, I am not in station. And from after that, I will stop unless we get some new candidates who are really interested in coming for the class. Otherwise, it is not a must for me to conduct the class. I have already conducted from 15th of January, and it is for you to watch, especially Vishwa and Kaviram. You
Yes,
please
sir.
watch every day, one day new video I have posted. Take down notes and prepare yourself. Okay.
Sure, sir. But kindly don't stop these classes, sir,
It
because
may
these
not
are the classes.
say it may not be possible. There is no charm. There is no charm in it. There are nearly 15 to 20
Can I,
students.
sir,
Yeah,
can I reply to your question? Sir,
yeah.
at that time I was not able to on my mic.
Tell me.
Sir, first of all, if I encounter a problem with a customer, so I initially try to solve it with them privately. And
Mm,
if this colleague had not changed his behavior after our conversation and several reminders, I would have taken my concern to a supervisor to gain their help in resolving the issue. That's what I will do.
Actually, you have used the words very loosely. You said I will deal the problem privately. That is wrong.
Okay.
प्राइवेटली का मतलब क्या है? आप उनको सेपरेटली लेकर जाएंगे, उनसे सेपरेटली ये तो नहीं कर सकते हैं बैंक में. But what you had in mind was, I will listen to him. I will try to sort out the issue by myself. Probably this is what you had in mind. So you said, but the word privately carries a negative message.
Okay, sir.
So that is a point. So the point is, there is no the correct answer for this. See, after all, when a person is shouting, he is shouting because he is convinced what he is doing is right. And the only solution for this is we have to listen to him patiently. It is again theoretical. What I am telling is theoretical. We have to listen to him patiently, take down the points, and if it is solvable at our end, we can do it immediately. And if it requires the approval of higher authorities, we have to take the problem to the higher authorities, get his approval, and get the problem sorted out. Okay, this is the
Okay, sir.
situation.
Okay.
But this
Okay.
is how it has to be answered. Honestly, this is not the correct solution because each problem will have different dimensions. For example, even in my case, though I am a retired bank manager, I had problem with my own bank in respect of debit card. The debit card did not come to me after it has become due. And though I have had applied for it, I had to go on repeatedly, go after the manager, talk to him over phone, and then try to find out what happened. Because nowadays everything is computerized. Nobody can do anything beyond the routine. It has to come in the routine order only. So when that be the case, there was some nag or some problem. So after that was sorted out only, I got it after 20 days. So it happens. In the case of State Bank of India, what happened? They said, I have not fulfilled KYC. I fulfilled KYC, but then I had not given Form 60 for not having PAN card. So the system was not allowing it to go further to issue a debit card. Then I had to send a very angry letter to the bank. I talked to the officer over phone. I told her I have visited you 2-3 times. In spite of it, this has not been done. Then she said, sir, please get it done like this. I want a Form 60 signed by your daughter. You send it duly through email. I will take it up and get it done immediately. So I did that. Afterwards, there was a clerk who was showing interest and he took keen interest and posted it. I got the card after 20 days. So like this, some problems happens. One, because right today, one problem happened for me. I was using Gpay and I was traveling by car. Sorry, traveling by auto. And after getting down from the auto, I paid the Gpay. The in my account, it has been debited and I received that paid advice also. But the auto driver did not get it for 2-3 minutes. He was really worried. Then I told him, you will get it afterwards. I showed him, you see, my account, the debit has been made. Then he agreed for that, went. So that is alone not the problem. While returning from the temple again for giving GPay, again, you know what happened? It was not working because it said the bank server is having some issue. So then the only option is, luckily I had cash on hand, so I gave him cash and sorted out the issue. So this type of problems are bound to happen. And that auto driver, how long can I wait for this? He was telling. I said, what I can do? Only thing is I had to try once, twice, but still it was not going. I had to pay him cash after verifying. It has not been debited. So digitalization is, one way beneficial, another way it is also causing inconvenience. Here it is okay if it is 30 rupees, 60 rupees. And supposing it is going to be for a huge amount, 30,000, 40,000 and all, what we will do again, I don't know. It all depends on one's own fate. That's what it is. Now, what have you studied, Kajal? New, apart from the questions I asked in the interview, and what have you studied for the interview? Kajal. Hello? Kajal's?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
What
Sir,
have you? I want
currently
you
I
to
have
tell.
started.
I want you to tell something which you have studied, about which you are confident of telling. That's all. Tell me.
Sir, I started basic of banking that I am studying right now.
Mhm. Basics of banking. Okay. What is nomination, Kajal? Kajal, what is nomination?
Hello?
Tell me. Why your
Sir,
connection goes off quite often?
I don't know, sir.
You
My
you are in Warangal or Varangal?
Warangal only, sir.
Arey Baba, Warangal also in the hostels, there will be some spots where the signal is good. There will be some spots where the signal is weak. You know that. You have to identify that and occupy that place, no?
Okay,
I don't
I
know.
will do.
I
Okay, sir,
don't have
nominee. Sir, you are asking for nominee, na? Nominee in a bank account.
nomination. What is nomination?
Nomination is an individual we used to nominate who the holder of the bank account trust and appoint it as a nominee.
You have it, the point in mind. You are not able to tell it correctly. अब हिंदी में बोलिए nomination का
Sir,
मतलब
an individual who the holder of the account trust and appoint as nominee and appoints as a nominee.
correct explanation आया नहीं है.
Sir, it is the legal hair, sir, actually.
Not necessarily legal heirs. Not necessarily legal heir. A depositor appoints another person as his nominee for him to receive the funds in the account after the demise of the depositor. Understand? Kajal,
Yes,
could you?
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So,
Sir,
yeah.
whether both nomination and nominee both are same, both are different, right?
Nomination, a
Yes.
person in whose favor it has been given, is known as nominee. For example,
Okay.
a father nominates. Father is the depositor. He nominates
Yes.
his son as a nominee. So now son is nominee.
Okay, sir.
And I don't know what is the terminology for the person who is making nomination. I have not heard the term nominator. We always say the depositor or the customer.
Yes, sir.
Understand?
So,
Yeah.
so nominee is the legal heir and
No.
nomination.
Nominee need not be legal heir. I
Okay.
can appoint some X, Y, Z as my nominee,
Okay, sir.
though he is not my relative.
Oh, okay, sir.
But
So nomination is the process of appointing someone as nominee, right,
correct.
sir? Yes.
Nominee for what purpose? For him to receive the money after the demise of the depositor.
Okay, sir.
And there is one account known as either or survivor, A and B. That means A can operate the account, B can operate the account. Then if A dies, B will operate. If B dies, A can operate the account. So that is known as either or survivor. There is one more account known as farmer or survivor, FORMER. That is father and son. As long as father is alive, he will operate the account. And after his death, the survivor, namely his son, will operate the account. So that is known as farmer or survivor. Another type of account is anyone or survivors or survivors. A, B, C, D, 4 people opening the account. Any of them can operate. And if anyone dies, any of the survivor can operate. So that is known as anyone or survivors or survivor. Understand? Yeah.
Yes, sir. So either our survivor account is like a joint account, sir.
Yeah. Joint,
Ah,
actually, we, joint account is one where A and B open a joint account. The check has to be signed by both of them.
okay, sir.
Whereas in the case of either or survivor, anyone is eligible to sign the check.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
That is the difference between this and that one. Understand? Good.
Okay, sir.
Now let me go through Federal Bank website, and any doubts comes from there, we will see. Federalbank.co.in, and yeah. See, when you come to personal, when you click this, you will see savings accounts, salary account, GBO super. They have so many types of accounts under savings itself.
Sir, it is
Then,
not displaying, sir.
oh, not displayed, acha.
It's
Yes,
displaying
it
that.
is not present.
See, the banker declares the Federal Bank as the Banker of the Year, India. Banker of the Year 2023, India. I think The Banker is a magazine, it seems. It's The Banker is a magazine. Then another one, we will see what it is. Stellar Savings Account, where wellness meets with wealth and milestones spark rewards. I don't know what it is. Anybody read this? Stellar Savings Account. But there is not much of a time for us to read. Good times are coming, no more. 8%. What is this? No more. No more. Unlock exclusive benefits. Product name, deposit campaign. Acha. They will take particulars. Then how to go to the next one? What is this? Earn 200 as you transact. Do e-rupees transfer transactions every week and get a cashback of e-rupee. Acha, this is the digital rupee. This is the digital rupee. I was not interested in that. So this is the digital rupee they are telling. So as for interview purposes, you must know about it. Please go through that. Federalbank.co.in. Yeah. Any doubts you are having from this? Whatever you have read, you are not able to understand. If you ask, then next, many times they are asking this question, say about credit cards. What are the different types? I have already discussed this. 3 types of credit cards and all. Please go through that. Then they have credit cards itself, so many types. Credit card EMI, then co-branded credit card and all that. But don't worry about such that much details, not required. Then next one is insurance. Insurance, wealth management, Fed E-Trade, National Pension System, Sovereign Gold Bond, Demat account. See, actually, yeah.
Whether we have to know details about insurance also, sir.
Yeah. You must know.
Sir, I can't able to hear.
You must know about insurance also.
Okay,
So
sir.
you just click what is coming there. You read that.
Okay, sir. Sir, I have another doubt.
Mhm.
If they have asked about future of banking, what do we want? How do we want to answer that, sir? What is the future of banking? How
You always,
banks are
you,
going to be in future?
you always say it will be positive.
Yes, sir.
That is the banks. See, the question will be maximum. Is there need for brick and mortar banks or not?
Yes, sir.
Because there are more of neo banks coming. You say, in as much as in our country, the literacy rate has not increased much. You get to know what is the rate now. It has not increased much, and there is scope for more people to operate through the brick and mortar banks. So the present system will continue for some more, and maybe we will add more of other neo banks also. So this question is similar to the question whether artificial intelligence will take away the employment, whether these neo banks will come and take away the brick and mortar banks, whether they will take away brick and mortar banks. So in all that, what I suggest is, for your information, you can just put a Google search, get to have some ideas, then do some chat GPT search, get some ideas, form your own ideas in a positive way, and then tell. There are no ready-made answers from me.
Okay, sir.
Here
Thank you.
regarding insurance, they are telling life insurance, health insurance, general insurance. Life insurance means insuring one's life against death. In the case of death, his nominee will get the sum insured. Health insurance is mediclaim insurance, where we take a policy in case of ailment when we are hospitalized. The insurance company will bear the expenses subject to conditions. In some policies, they have a condition. First 20% has to be borne by the insured. The balance 80% only they will give. It depends on the policy. In the case of our bank's policy, retirees policy, there is no such condition. Full amount is payable by insurance company. General insurance is insurance like car insurance, then fire insurance, burglary insurance, then flood insurance, like that. Those insurances are covered under general insurance. That is, online trading is, say, this is buying and selling shares through online. Wealth management is rich people. For them, an officer will be appointed to closely follow and guide him, so that the bank will get commission for such services. Then what is this ASBA? Is say in the case of the scheme ASBA application supported by blocked amount. This comes in the case of online trading, online buying and selling shares, where we are applying for initial public offer. Earlier, the system was we used to remit money to the company. Nowadays, it is not done so. It is retained in an account known as ASBA account. It is kept aside. Only if the share is allotted, then the money will be debited. Then what is this sovereign gold bond? This is interesting. Sovereign gold bond. It is not available always, only at some times when it is introduced by the Reserve Bank of India. FAQs. If we read FAQs, maybe we will get some idea. Kabiram, please read.
Yes, sir. What is sovereign gold bond? SGP. Who is the issuer? SGP are government securities denominated in grams of gold. They are substitutes for holding physical gold. Investors have to pay the issue price in cash, and the bonds will be redeemed in cash on maturity. The bond is issued by Reserve Bank on behalf of Government of India. 2. Why should I buy SGP rather than physical gold? What are the benefits? The quantity of gold for which the investor pays is protected, since he receives the ongoing market price at the time of redemption. Premature redemption The SGP offers a superior alternative to holding gold in physical form. The risk and the costs of storage are eliminated. Investors are assured of market value of gold at the time of maturity and periodically interest. SGP is free from issues like making charges and purity in case
Yeah.
of gold in jewelry form. The bonds are held in the books of RBI or in demat form, eliminating risk of loss of script, etc. 3. Are these any risk in investing SGPs? There may be risk of capital loss if the market price of gold declines. However, the investors does not lose in terms of units of gold which he has paid for. 4. Who is eligible to invest in SGPs? Persons resident in India as defined under Foreign Exchange Management Act 1999 are eligible to invest in SGP. Eligible investors include individuals, HUFS, trusts, universities, charitable institutions, etc. Whether joint holding will be allowed? Yes, joint holding is allowed. 6. Can a minor invest in SGP? Yes, the application on behalf of minor has to be made by his or her guardian. 7. Where can investor get application form? The application form will be provided by the issuing bank, designated post offices, agents. It can also be downloaded from RBI's website. Bank may also provide online application facility. 8. What are the know your customer norms? Every application must be accompanied by PAN number issued by the income tax department to the investor. 9. What is the rate of interest and how will the interest be paid? The bond bear interest at the rate of 2.50% fixed rate per annum on the amount of initial investment. Interest will be credited semi-annually to the bank account of the investor, and the last interest will be payable on maturity along with the principal. 10. Who are authorized agencies selling SGPs? Bonds are sold through scheduled commercial banks and designated post offices, either directly or through agents like NBFCs, NSC agents, etc. 11. Is it necessary for me to apply through my bank? It is not necessary for customers to apply through the bank where he or she has his or her account. A customer can apply through another bank or post office. 12. If I apply, am I assured of allotment? If the customer meets the eligibility criteria, produces a valid identification document, and remits the application money on time, he or she will receive the allotment. 13. When will the customer be issued holding certificate? The customer will be issued certificate of holding on the date of issuance of SGP. Certificate of holding can be allocated from the issuing bank, post office agents, or obtained directly from RBI on email if email address is provided in the application form. 14. At what price the bonds are sold? The price of bond will be fixed in Indian rupee on the basis of previous week's Monday to Friday simple average price for gold of 999 purity published by the India Bullion and Jewellery Association Limited, IBJA. The issue price will be disseminated by the Reserve Bank of India. The price of gold for the relevant tranche will be published on RBI website 2 days before the issue opens. 15. What will I get on redemption? On maturity, the redemption proceeds will be equivalent to the prevailing market value of grams of gold originally invested in Indian rupees. The redemption price will be based on simple average of previous week's Monday to Friday price of closing gold for 999 purity published by IPJA. 16. How will I get the redemption amount? Both interest and redemption proceeds will be credited to the bank account furnished by the customer at the time of buying the bond. 17. What are the procedures involved during redemption? The investor will be advised 1 month before maturity regarding the ensuring maturity of the bond. On the date of maturity, the maturity proceeds will be credited to the bank account as per details on the record. In case there are changes in any detail, such as account number, email IDs, the investors must intimate the bank promptly. 18. Can I encash the account? Can I encash the bond anytime I want? Is premature redemption allowed? Though the tenor of bond is 8 years, yearly encashment redemption of bond is allowed after 5th year from the date of issue on coupon payment dates. The bond will be tradable on exchanges if held in demat form. It can also be transferred to any other eligible investor. 19. What do I have to do if I want to exit my investment? In case of premature redemption, investor can approach bank, post office, agent 30 days before the coupon payment date. Request for premature redemption can only be entertained if the investor approaches bank, post office at least 1 day before the coupon payment date. The proceeds will be credited to the customer's bank account provided at time of applying for the bond. 20. Can I gift the bonds to relative or friend on some occasion? The bond can be gifted transferable to relative, friend, anybody who fulfills the eligibility criteria as mentioned question number 4. The bonds shall be transferable in accordance with the provisions of Government Security Act 2006 and the Government Security Regulation 2007 before maturity by execution of instrument of transfer which is available with issuing agents.
Brave Bob, so many things. I am feeling
Yes.
bored, Baba. So many things. For interview purposes, you will be asked what is sovereign gold bond. You have to say sovereign gold bonds are issued by RBI, and the purchaser or the depositor can purchase at the time of issue of the bonds. The advantage here is he need not keep the money in the form of gold. Security is not required. It will be in demat form, and we will also get interest at 2.5%. So after 8 years, we will get the price of gold in cash so that we can buy the same gold again from the market. Could you follow? That is
Yes,
what
sir.
they said. In case the price goes down, what will happen? In case the price goes down, you will get lower money only. However, you will not lose the gold because you can get the same amount of same quantity of gold. So very good. So we will stop with this now. Maybe tomorrow, day after tomorrow, no class. I have already told in the group. And after that, 5, 6, 7th, I will tell you. I will post in the group about the class timing. If at all I have, it will be at the same time only, 8:30. But I want you people to read Guidely, or any other interview material I have given, and try to understand the concepts so that my job will be made easy. I can explain things easily. Thank
Sir?
you. Yeah.
They are charging 3% GST for physical gold, right, sir?
Yeah. Oh,
Uh,
I don't
for-
know. I don't know. Acha, tell me.
I have gone through that, sir. Whether they will charge any tax for this
No, no,
sovereign gold bond, sir?
no. Sovereign gold bond redemption's time, no tax.
There are no taxes during
No
buying time.
taxes. No taxes. You will pay the tax.
Okay, sir.
I think that point is now the reasoning for that is if you buy now gold, even now you have to pay tax GST.
Yes, sir.
So the same GST you will pay at the time of redemption also. So there is not much of a difference. But unless the rate changes in between, now probably it is 12%. And tomorrow if they increase it to 18%, you may lose.
Okay, sir.
That problem is there. See, only cash retained in cash form is safe, but it is subject to theft. That is a problem.
The
Anyhow,
inflation may meet up, right, sir?
yeah, inflation is a problem. Yeah. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, sir. Bye, sir.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, sir.
Bye.
Bye-bye.